This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans from around the corner and around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marotti here at MWF Studios, just north of Boston, in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, 02176, the zip code of champions. Stay tuned after the news for some awesome money-saving deals where you can support indie wrestling. Let's check out WWE Clash of Champions from Indianapolis, Indiana, September the 25th, 2016, exclusively on pay-per-view and the WWE Network. WWE takes on the name of former WCW TBS specials from 1988 to 1997. The Clash was to WCW what Saturday night's main event was to WWE. If you don't recall or weren't a fan of that generation, WCW ran free pay-per-view like Clash of Champions events on TBS the nights of WrestleManias 4 and 5 in an attempt to hurt WWE's pay-per-view buy rates after WWE went out of business on their way to kill Starrcade 87 in the Bunkhouse Stampede. On the kickoff show at the Clash, Nia Jax defeated Alicia Fox in the continued formula to build Jax up as a monster. My continued worry is, what do you do with Jax in a women's division with 6 women in it? You'll have repetitive matches, and if Jax is going to be selling for Sasha Banks and Bayley, you're talking about unbelievable repetitive matches. I continue to believe that WWE's best route for the female superstars was to have all of them on one brand opposite the Cruiserweight division. Both female rosters are way too thin, and it's going to expose the quality of the rosters that exist. WWE Tag Team Champions The New Day opened up the pay-per-view. They defeated The Club in tag team action. In our Twitter poll, 65% of the fans thought it would be The Club winning the match, only 35% with New Day retaining. I was surprised by that poll result. As much as I love New Day, I feel like I've seen this match 700 times. Hopefully this is the end of the program, unless The Club does a clean job on Raw to New Day. WWE seems to be heating up the Shining Stars for New Day. I like the Shining Stars, the Cologne Cousins, an awful lot. I can't imagine New Day is going to lose the titles at this point before they break Demolition's all-time company record, especially considering where Demolition stands right now as part of the concussion lawsuit. WWE Cruiserweight Champion T.J. Perkins defeated Brian Kendrick in our Twitter poll. 73% of the fans believe Perkins would retain, 27% for Kendrick. I can't imagine anyone's logic that Perkins was going to lose the title before he even appeared on Raw, and losing in a feud that hadn't even been established yet. I like this match a lot, even if it wasn't the most crisp. Perkins went to shake hands after the match, and Kendrick reciprocated by giving him a low blow, so it appears that this rivalry will continue. It was different, and it was enjoyable. T.J. Perkins can light up a professional wrestling ring. I look forward to his Raw debut as soon as tonight. In the 7th match of the Best of 7 series, Cesaro battled Sheamus to an no countout. This was the best match of the series so far, but still had zero interest in seeing it again. I can't exactly put my finger on it, but their feud has been extremely boring, and I don't think the series of matches has benefited either guy. Will we see match number 8 to determine the winner of the series on Raw, or will it be held off all the way to Hell in the Cell on pay-per-view October the 30th? In our Twitter poll, 38% of the fans have enjoyed this series of matches, while 62% want it to end now. Chris Jericho defeated Sami Zayn in a really solid match. Jericho is going to be working in the main event picture for the immediate future, so it's the right finish here. I enjoy Zayn's matches, but really don't see him as a top-of-the-card guy. The fact that Zayn is working so high up the card really puts the spotlight on how paper-thin the Raw roster is. Jericho continues to be the best heel in professional wrestling, doing all the small, subtle things right. He's a master out there that continues to get better with age. It's the only way you can describe Chris Jericho right now. He's had a great run this go-around. WWE Women's Champion Charlotte defeated Sasha Banks and Bayley to retain the title. Going into the match on Twitter, we had 46% of the fans thinking Sasha Banks would win the title, 32% that Charlotte would retain, 22% thought Bayley would come away with the gold. Another match I feel like I've seen in some form 700 times. For those fans that watch NXT on a regular basis, they must really feel like they've seen these three in some combination a ton over the past few years, and we'll see more of it, because that's all WWE has right now. It's a small women's roster. great effort by the women nonetheless. It was a good match. In our Twitter polls, I asked the fans what they thought of the women's roster. And again, I was surprised. 63% enjoy the separate rosters, while 37% seem to agree with me that WWE needs one strong, full women's division. Roman Reigns defeated the WWE United States Champion Rusev to win the title. This was the only title switch. Going into the match, 64% of the fans thought Reigns would win the gold. 36% thought Rusev would retain. As much as I think Michael Cole is a poor choice to be the front and center play-by-play man, the quote-unquote salesman of the Raw brand, I thought he did a great job in presenting Reigns' backstory in this match. It's only fair to give credit where credit is due. I was somewhat surprised by this, even though I expect the feud to continue. Rusev does a great job in bringing out a different side in Reigns. Their matches and angles have been solid. Reigns holding the U.S. title continues to keep him out of the heavyweight main event type position to appease the vocal diehard fans at Raw tapings and pay-per-views. I like the Reigns-Rusev dynamic. I think there's a lot more meat to this feud. We'll see where the next storyline arc takes it. In the main event, the WWE Universal Champion Kevin Owens retained over Seth Rollins going into the match. Our Twitter poll had 74% believing Owens was going to leave the Clash as champion. 24% thought it would be Rollins. Another really solid match. Interference from Chris Jericho during this one. The referee was knocked out, and Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon sent another referee to the ring to count Owens' victory. Rollins had an encounter with Stephanie earlier, so this was some form of payback in assisting Owens, who her husband Triple H helped win the title several weeks back. Overall, all of the athletes worked extremely hard. Most matches were good to very good. The fans in attendance got a great live event experience, but to me, I guess the best way to sum it up is to say I didn't care. There was nothing on this event I would go out of my way to see because I've already seen it all. In recent weeks, with the exception of the Cruiserweight matchup. Raw needs an edge and some unpredictability, or it's going to continue to suffer in the ratings until the NFL season is over. This week, going head-to-head with the presidential debate, it could be the lowest Monday Night Raw ever in the history of the show, ever. It's a scary thought, and it's certainly possible. Let's take a look at the Twitter polls. Clash of Champions, 42% thumbs in the middle, 36% thumbs up, 22% thumbs down. For the best match, 31% for Rollins and Owens, 30% for Rusev and Reigns, 26% for other, 13% for Zayn and Jericho. What was the best pay-per-view of September? 78% thought it was Backlash, 22% Clash of Champions. I have to agree, Backlash really had a great main event, but that show was another one that really lacked substance with a very thin roster. Would love to know what you thought of Clash of Champions. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comment section below. It's a hot summer on WWE Network with WWE NXT and the Cruiserweight Classic lighting up Wednesdays, along with SummerSlam and not one but two pay-per-views, with Backlash and Clash of Champions in September. Not currently subscribed to WWE Network? Come on now. Use our link below and get 1 month absolutely free. Get the pay-per-views live, the awesome weekly shows, and over 6,000 hours of on-demand content for free. See Lesnar and Orton at SummerSlam, Holy Foley, brand-exclusive pay-per-views, and so much more at its regular price of only $9.99 per month. It's the best value in sports and entertainment. You want to talk about a great summer sale? Head on over to the MWF store on the BostonWrestling.com super site. We've got brand new WWE t-shirts, autographs, action figures, posters, and more. And this summer I have a special where if you spend $25 or more, you get a WWE t-shirt absolutely free. Not only is it a great deal, but every dollar spent helps our endeavors to bring you action-packed live events and video content. Enjoy 1,200 free videos on our YouTube channel. As we count down to our 15th anniversary, we're releasing a new video each day at 12 o'clock, flashing back to highlights and even a few lowlights on the adventure that is the Millennium Wrestling Federation. Subscribe to our channel using the link below or use youtube.com/BostonWrestlingCom. We also have regular news videos, TV episode recaps, results, interviews, and so much more. Help us bring you even more great video content by donating an amount of any size to paypal.me/Boston Wrestling. Again, every dollar donated helps us bring you more great live events and video content. That wasn't enough. We have a new video on demand section on YouTube where you can either rent or own some of our classic state-of-the-art studio shoot interviews. In honor of the 10-year anniversary since the original No Holds Barred Iron Sheik studio shoot interview went viral, and on the Howard Stern Show, we've remastered it and made it available for fans around the world to enjoy for as little as $5.99. We also have an awesome WrestleMania 1 roundtable studio shoot with the Sheik, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and Cowboy Bob Orton, where all three WWE Hall of Famers look back at the WWF boom of the 1980s. John Cena Sr. joins me as co-host for in-depth studio shoots with both Paul Bearer and the first and only shoot ever done with the Boogeyman. Bull Dempsey joins us and pulls back the curtain on WWE NXT. Again, not only can you rent or own these awesome interviews, but every dollar goes right back into our efforts to bring you live event and video content. Another easy way to help our efforts is to use the links below or on the front page of the BostonWrestling.com super site to do your shopping on WWEshop.com, Amazon.com, or Walmart.com. If you make a purchase on any of those websites, wrestling-related stuff or not, we get a tiny kickback, and best of all, your cost doesn't increase 1 cent. Hey, Christmas is going to be here before you know it. Please keep us in mind, as again, every purchase made helps support indie wrestling. Last but not least, have a free ride on me with our friends at Uber. That's right. If you've never used Uber before, get a free ride up to $20 on the house to try out their great service. Forget about overpriced taxi cabs. Uber service is great. The cars are clean. The drivers are some interesting folks. Use the link below and see for yourself. I tried Uber for the first time last October in New York City for the WWE Madison Square Garden event, and I've used it regularly ever since. You won't regret it. Running out of time here, folks, as we approach our 15th anniversary. Don't miss a day on the BostonWrestling.com super site, as you never know what's going on in our world. Like us on Facebook.com/MWF Action. Follow us on Twitter at MWF2001. And again, subscribe for free to our YouTube channel at YouTube.com/BostonWrestling.com. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well.